Hello you guys, welcome back to my Lady Boss YouTube channel. So get ready, we are going to do a Q&A. I've actually never done one of these before, but I did ask on my Instagram to ask me a few questions. So I did pick a few of them out, and it's kind of like a get to know me Q&A. I feel like I do talk a lot about a lot of other things and a lot of other topics, but today we're gonna talk so you get to know a little bit more about me. So sorry, I literally did not even get ready for this YouTube video. I just got home from the gym, to be honest, and whether that's disgusting or not that I haven't showered yet, but I decided to just hop on here, do a quick Q&A, and then, get ready to settle down and continue the rest of my night. But figured, you get the raw, real me, might as well look this way to kind of play the part. So we'll go ahead and get right into it. Let me just pull this up right now. All right, so the first question that I do have is, why did I start my YouTube channel? So first things first, when I first started my YouTube channel, my main whole, goal with it was just to be really informative and just to be a source of information for people to go to, because back then when I first started my channel, I really honestly didn't even take it that seriously, and I didn't really look into the YouTube algorithm or anything like that, so my channel never really grew. But a lot of people were asking me real estate questions, and they're like, how'd you get into real estate? Do you like it? What did you do to get to where you are? Blah, 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 and all that stuff. And so I kept getting those questions, and people were always asking me for advice. So that was the main spark of where it came from. And then when I did start to actually take it seriously, literally probably towards more the beginning of this year, kind of, not even a year just quite, but that's where a lot of it came, where I still do give a lot of advice, or people do come to me for certain suggestions and advice, and I just thought it'd be a good way to kind of put it all in one place where I could just, anybody can access it. It's completely free, obviously, but it's just a good way where I can just kind of apply things that I've experienced or that I've talked about with other people or had other conversations with, and kind of put it into a video where maybe it could help other people out there who are struggling or going through certain situations or just kind of need that advice and support. So that's basically why I started my YouTube channel, and I'm literally enjoying it so much. And sometimes it is a little bit difficult to think of topics, but I feel like every YouTuber runs into that problem. But I definitely do try to apply a lot of the stuff that I do that does happen in my actual personal life in a lot of these videos. And honestly, I do not preach anything that I don't personally do myself. All of this advice that I usually give out is something that I've truly experienced, have gone through the negatives with it, but then also came out with the positives. So that's one thing where I feel like I just am my most authentic self, and what I give advice to is things that I've personally gone through. So that's the first thing on why I started my YouTube channel. Alright, so for the next question, what ethnicity are you? So I literally get this question so much, but I am half Japanese and I am half Chinese. My dad is Japanese, my mom's Chinese. Next question. Saw you're doing a fitness program. How are you liking it, and are you seeing results? So yes, if you follow me on Instagram, which you should, I'll put my Instagram handle right here, so definitely follow me. But I am doing a fitness program. So pretty much the backstory on that real quick is that my fiance and I, we decided to kind of take a full entire year, I guess you could say, up until our wedding, to kind of just really take care of our health and get in the best physical and mental shape of our lives. And it's kind of a nice challenge. We're really both just really into fitness, and we always like to take care of ourselves and all that stuff already as it is, but this is something where it can kind of push, motivate, and challenge us a little bit more, and just kind of have us work towards a goal, because I like to do that. I like to goal set, all of that stuff. But so yes, we're doing this fitness program. We started out just to kind of take it slow in increments. We actually are doing an 8-week program where somebody is giving us meal plans and workout plans. So that's what I've been posting about, and honestly, I really do like it. The only downside about it is that I have to really be on a tight schedule. My life is already really hectic, with a lot of things going on in my life, but this is something where I just, have to work through it and just figure out a schedule that works really best for me and just kind of balance everything. But that's the only downside that I can see, is that like I'm really pushed for time, because even though with, you know, COVID and everything, the gyms are kind of closing early now, so I have to squeeze in everything before 9 p.m. So with that being said, definitely do like it. I really like how I have some type of like really good schedule to follow, because your girl loves food and I don't always eat the healthiest, because I love food, love my carbs way too much. I feel like anybody who knows me definitely knows that. But it's really nice to actually kind of have something to go off of. And then the other portion, yes, I have actually been seeing results. I've only been doing this for like about a week now. This is going on my second week. And honestly, I could just see the change in my check-ins with, we have to do like check-ins with like side-by-side photos. And I have seen a difference, which is like crazy and insane, just the amount, just like the small time that we've actually been doing this. So I cannot wait to see what at the end of 8 weeks will actually look like. All right, next question. Are you an extrovert or introvert? You seem really bubbly in all your videos, so wondering if you're always like that. I am actually always like that. I am a very extroverted person. I'm not really introverted. I'm very extroverted. I love to talk. I love to communicate with people. I can literally make friends with anybody that I meet. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Moving on to the next question. So what's one thing that you like most about your job? So as I had mentioned earlier, I do real estate. And the one thing that I really do like about my job is that it's always a challenge. Like, I'm always learning. And I think that's one thing why I've never really pursued anything else or kept any of my other jobs or stuck with them. But there's so many different types of personalities, so many different types of scenarios and situations that can happen, that it's a constant thing of being able to learn, being able to adapt, being flexible, and just, you're not doing the same old boring thing all the time. And I think that's one thing that it keeps me kind of like excited or like on my toes. And I think with my personality, I really do need something like that, because if I was just sitting at like a desk job and just doing the same things day in and day out, I don't know what I would be doing. I'd be so bored and I'd be so unfulfilled. So I think that's one thing that I really, really do like about my job. Next question. Your channel is about motivation, setting goals, personal development. What are your next big goals or things you want to achieve? Great question. So there's a lot of things that I have set up that I've already kind of like planned out. If you haven't seen my other video of my 2021 vision board, definitely check it out. I will put a card up above and link to the video so you can watch it. But I've actually started planning out my 2021 goals, but to narrow it down. So one of the biggest ones that I really do want to achieve within the next year, and this kind of is me and plus my fiance, I do want to buy another house. I want to buy something that maybe not be our dream home or anything like that, but something where, you know, we can raise a family and just have more of like a yard and all that stuff. So that is my next biggest goal that we're actually saving for besides our wedding. The next personal, I would say personal goal in development is I just really, and this is kind of like not that exciting, is to just save as much money as I can. I have a pretty hefty and like large personal goal of how much I want to save by the end of next year, just because I like to have that security in the fact that like I know how much power and how much like support you feel when you are able to really financially help yourself not have to live paycheck to paycheck, like not have to have any of that worry. So that's one of my personal goals that I have for myself. So the next question is, how long have you been engaged and how did you meet? So first one is, how long have we been engaged? So we will almost be engaged for a year. So he proposed to me last December and now we're coming up on December shortly and it'll be almost officially 1 year. And the next question was, how did we meet? So we actually met off Bumble. Pretty sure everybody's familiar with that because everybody's on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, all of that stuff. So we actually met on Bumble and he was my very first Bumble date that I ever went on, and from there on out, it was pretty much history. I will also link my engagement video up above too as a card, so if you want to watch that, because I definitely go into a lot of depth on how we met, how he proposed, all of that information, and so I just don't want to make it too lengthy right now for this question, but definitely that's how we met. And honestly, it just really, really worked out perfectly and would have never imagined or guessed it to happen that way. The next question is, how do you stay motivated and consistent all the time? So this one, there's no really, I want to say, correct answer to this question. It's going to always be based off of who you are, your personality, and what you actually want to do with your life, I guess you could say. For me to stay motivated and consistent, what really drives me is that I just want to be able to live the happiest life that I can. I think that's one thing that really motivates me, because I see and have seen just people in my past not really so happy, or they're just kind of like struggling with certain things, whether it's financially, physically, mentally, happiness, whatever it is, with relationships, you name it. I've seen it all in different shapes and forms. And I think because I just want to be able to live a really happy but simple life, I guess you can say, or that's not as like a complicated life. Like, I want to live an extravagant life, don't get me wrong. Like, I want to be, living in a nice house, all of that. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about like being simple in a way where everything is really easy and just like not a lot of drama, or there's just like a lot of just full, pure happiness. And I think that's one thing that really keeps me motivated and consistent, because that's always in the back of my mind. And I think because I've been through certain hard times in my life, or just seen it with other people, that I just personally don't want to struggle. And I want to live that simple life of just being truly, honestly happy in every single facet of my life that I want to do, whether it's relationship, friendships, family, career, personal goals, all of that stuff. I think that's what it really comes down to when I try to be motivated and consistent. Oh, and the other thing, not only that is a big motivating factor for me, but it's just the fact that like I love to be independent. I think that's one thing where I don't want to have handouts. I don't want people to have to baby me, worry about me, try to support me. I like to just kind of be my own, and I think that's kind of how I've always been. So I think that's one thing that really also drives me as well too, where I want to accomplish things, and I want to say that I accomplish things because of me and the hard work and the hustle and the grind that I put in, and not to just get things like, oh, hand it to me and be like, oh yay, I got this, or got a brand new car, or bought a nice gorgeous house. But if someone else gave me money for it or did it for me, like, I don't know, I just don't feel like I'd be as satisfied. So that's another thing. All right, moving on to my next question is, what's your biggest accomplishment that you've done so far? So before I even tell you my biggest accomplishment, I just want to say that I think it is definitely something to recognize is your small wins as well. I'm not going to go into detail about all the small wins that I've done, because this video would be way too long, but I think it's also something really great to recognize along with your big accomplishments. So I wanted to remind you of that. But my one biggest accomplishment thus far is buying this townhouse that I actually currently live in right now. And it's gonna be, I wanna say my 3-year anniversary coming up in December. And I bought this when I was 26 years old. So I just think that, I don't know, I'm just the most excited that I've ever been. And honestly, it was a huge investment. It was a huge, probably the biggest money investment that I've ever made. And it's just really exciting. It's been an exciting process. It's definitely had its ups and downs, but I've definitely would literally say that has been the biggest accomplishment. And I am so happy that I was able, and so fortunate that I was able to do that at 26, because right now I am 29 and I'm looking to buy my second house. So I am just so excited for what the future holds. But yep, biggest accomplishment right there. Next question is, do you get embarrassed easily? No. So I just really don't. I just think that, I think I used to when I was younger, and I definitely grew out of it for sure, but I just want to say that nothing really truly embarrasses me, because I literally just own everything that I do, whether it's silly, goofy, stupid, you name it. I really just think anything that I do and say, or if something happens to me, I just own it and I walk with confidence. And I just have done that the last, I want to say, several years of my life, and it's worked out pretty well, because it's like a lot of people can't make fun of me because they know that it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'd probably laugh at it with them, at me, if that makes sense. So it's just, one of those things. I just don't get embarrassed that easily. Next question. So what is the best relationship advice you can give someone? The best relationship advice that I can give is that you have to be your own person. I think people need to go into a relationship not needing somebody else, but just having somebody to kind of sometimes enhance it, where they can add value to you, but not somebody who you rely on or depend on. I think that's one thing that a lot of people find out later on in life, but they definitely go into a relationship that they're kind of like looking to find their like other half or better half or someone to complete them. And to be genuinely and personally really honest, I don't think you need anybody to complete you, because you should already be full and whole yourself first before anything else. And that's one where I had to learn that the long way too. I was very dependent on other people. I had to pretty much thought that I needed this person and I couldn't live without this person. But in all honesty, once I really knew my worth, my value, and that I was super whole myself, I actually fell into a relationship that worked out really well. And yeah, I'm engaged now. So that's one thing that I just really do give my honest, true opinion and advice on, just because it worked for me. And I think it's one of the best things that I see other people have done as well too, and they've been successful at it. But yeah, that's just one of the best relationship advices I can give somebody. Next question is, what is your love language? Your girl is all 5 of them. No, but I'm literally serious. Like, I really think I am. Yeah, honestly, I'm not even gonna pick one, and I'm not gonna choose one. I'm just gonna say I'm all 5. Okay, thank you. Next question. What is your favorite type of food? So, my favorite type of food, I think I'm gonna base it off of like what I won't be able to like live without if I had to eat the same thing every single day. I definitely want to say, that's a hard one, because it's so hard because I like so much food. Like, I like way too much food. I like every single type of food you can imagine. Like, I'm not a picky person. Favorite type of food, I think if I had to like eat one source of like thing, I would say steak or like prime rib, that I could never live without. I don't know, it's a hard question. Next question. How old are you and where are you from? So I am 29 and I'm originally from LA, but I currently live here now in San Diego, and I probably won't ever move back to LA. Moving on to the next question, and it is, where was your most favorite place that you've traveled to? So I can honestly hands down say my most favorite place I've ever taken a vacation or traveled to is Japan. So my fiance and I actually went there. We spent like, I want to say like a week or so there, maybe a little bit over a week. But honestly, it was the best vacation I've taken. Like, just everything about it, honestly, I really can't say anything bad about it. Like the food, the people, the destinations, and the things that we saw, like it was amazing and incredible. And if you've never been to Japan before, highly, highly, highly recommend. Alright, you guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this Q&A and got to know a little bit more about me. I feel like I've talked for a decent amount, but I don't know, we'll see when I actually go to edit this video and see how long it actually really is. But I just wanted to pick like couple interesting questions. I didn't want to pick too much of the like very boring cliche questions. So hope that this kind of gave you a little bit more insight on who I am. I had a lot of fun doing this because it was kind of just like rapid spitball fire questions, answers, all of that, and I was just able to ramble and not have to really think too much, and it was a lot of fun. So I hope that you did enjoy this Q&A of how to get to know me a little bit better, and I will see you all in my next week's video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye guys.